Hello, everyone. Welcome. MTL Sports here, episode 149. NFL free agency day one is today. A lot of money spent. Some good money. Maybe some people think some bad money's been spent, but regardless, a lot of people got paid today, so we'll celebrate that. Both of our teams made some good signings, so we'll, of course, cover that as well. Plus, there's been a couple trades too, so a lot to go over. Then UFC 313 was over this weekend in Las Vegas. We'll go over that as well. And that's about it, guys. So stay tuned. See, all right, day one started I guess the legal tampering period today at noon. The new league year took into effect. So, like I said before, a lot of big money signings happened. I guess we should just start at the beginning, right? I mean, what happened at 12? Or we should even go over this weekend, right? Because it's a couple big signings this weekend. Devontae Adams. Um, who else got signed this weekend? Adams. Uh, the DK Metcalf trade. Yeah, Myles Garrett as well. Yeah, that was a little mind-boggling, but hey, what can you do? All right, let's go over these. Start on, I guess, Sunday. Most of these happen on Sunday. Some of these bigger ones. Um, Starting with, we already talked about the Zach Bond and, of course, and Saquon getting paid. So we're starting on, I believe this happened this late Saturday or on Sunday. So the Raiders trade for Geno. They send a third rounder to Seattle. And Geno heads to Las Vegas where he is going to get a new deal. Some say it might be a little bit more than what Sam Darnold just got today. We'll get to that a little bit later. But how do you feel about this, Lawrence?
Seems a little desperate. It is what it is. I think the Raiders will have a little bit of a gunslinger, and you can ride with that. But he hasn't. You have no weapons for him, and I guess that's gonna be your goal in the draft. But is that what you really want to start a rookie guy on? Is Geno Smith? Personally, I wouldn't, but I guess they think a little different.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's the best they thought they could do
Come up with.
after I don't know if they were in the Stafford sweepstakes, but I guess they didn't have any interest in Aaron Rodgers either. So they were like, best we can do is Geno Smith. So if that's the best they could do, I don't blame them. But yeah, like you said, they only have Jacoby Myers, so they don't need Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers. They're gonna need somebody else to come in there and help Geno out. Um, Ravens keep their offensive tackle, Stanley. That's a good deal. I mean, they keep their O line together. They were a pretty good O line. Now, this is, like I said, puzzling to me. I don't know if you can make more sense of this, Lawrence, but Myles Garrett asked for a trade not too long ago. Um, Emphasized that um, the direction that he wanted to go was not in the direction that the Browns were going. Um, and then turns out this man is getting 40 million a year from the very same team he wanted to leave. So, can you make any sense of this
Yeah.
other than money talks?
No, no, no. That was the answer. It was money. You give me the money, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, he could have got that anywhere else. It seems like I guess they weren't playing. They just weren't playing his game, so he was like, "Screw it. If they really not going to trade me, then let me just go ahead and take this money." I guess that's what he was thinking, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like a more like hardball player would just be like, "No, just trade me. Like I'm just, I don't care. Just trade me." He doesn't seem like that though. He seems
Well,
like a really good team friendly guy.
yeah, I mean, he has the roots, and they probably showed him some kind of game plan of what they want
Mhm.
to accomplish this free agency, and he said, "Okay, I'll buy back in, but don't you hoe me." And they'll probably end up hoeing him.
Yeah, I mean, one angle, I guess you believe in Stefanski. got you to the playoffs with Old Man Joe off the streets. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
you just give him another chance. Like, hey, if he can do that with Joe Flacco, maybe he can. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but they trade for Kenny Pickett. Maybe they give him a chance. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows the game plan they got going on there? But I guess he believes in Stefanski enough to give them another shot.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts to that.
Seahawks, they DK asked out last week, and he got his wish. He is going to the Steelers, which I did not see coming. Steelers, they were in for Brandon Ayuk last year, and that deal was basically done, and then he just decided to stay in San Fran for whatever reason. So, they get DK. He gets 5 years, 150, right? So he gets about 33 a year or something like that.
And all they had to do was give up a second-round pick.
And they gave up this year's second-round pick. How do you feel about this one? Now you got DK and George Pickens, but you don't have a quarterback.
I find it kind of very comical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're playing with house money. I mean, I'm going to have two good wideouts. I guess they're trying to hope for the Sam Darnold effect. Give him two good wideouts, so he can only be so bad. And I guess that's the mentality they want to roll with, which props to them. I don't even mind it if that's how you want to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that angle. It's just
because you can't
at that point
even fall back on Justin Fields anymore. I know you'll probably bring that up later, but you can't even fall that anymore.
Yeah, so it seems like they're kind of just setting up a scenario where they're hoping anyone can get the job done. Well, not anyone, but they're hoping a competent quarterback can get the job done, just like Sam did in Minnesota. So we'll see. Devontae, like I said earlier, going to the Rams, and this is interesting because they didn't want to pay Cooper. And I think Adams and Cup are the same age or like close in age, so they're willing to pay Devontae, but not Cup. So how do you feel about this one, Lawrence?
Perfectly fine with it. If you look at the difference between Cup and Devontae is more of a separation, speed, straight line, big body kind of guy. Cooper Kupp's a little bit more agile, shake them off. But Puka Nacua can do the exact same thing. So I have two of the same thing pretty much. So now I diversify my arsenal.
Yeah, I was going to say like Cup is at this point just mainly a slot guy. Like if you watch him play outside the numbers, he wasn't really effective. That was more like Puka's thing. And Puka can also come inside the numbers. He can be your really in tight in the split. So it makes sense to go get Devontae, who can still separate on the outside. And honestly, it's kind of transitioning into like a possession receiver. I mean, he's always been that, but now that's like his bread and butter. I mean, like if you look back to last year with the Jets, they need a first down. Like they're going to Devontae. Sure hands, good route runner, and like I said, possession guy. Like you can count on him to catch. So that's the angle I look at it, and I'm not faulting him for it. And I think they're going to release Cup if they don't get any trades, which they're not. So the Rams are dangerous. Puka, you got Stafford back, and you got Devontae. You got Kyron Williams.
Stafford's the main wild card, though.
Yeah.
Whether one, he can stay healthy, and two, if his arm's going to make it through the season.
This is all truths right there. Patriots signed Harold Landry III. I don't know if he's a re-sign. Where did he play last year?
Pretty sure he was with the Titans. I think that was one of the players Variable used to coach back in the day.
Okay, they need all the help they can get, so I am down for whatever signings they do. The Saints trade for another defensive tackle, or another defensive lineman. This guy's from the Saints. Don't know who that is, honestly, so I'm not going to speak too much on that. But the Chargers do. We were talking about this at work. They chose to re-sign the old man instead of Joey Bosa, so they re-signed Khalil Mack for one more year. $18 million, fully guaranteed. I think he can make like 20 with incentives. How do you feel about this one?
This is just kind of, I think, falls more on Joey Bosa keeps getting hurt every season.
Yeah.
and then kind of becomes irrelevant towards the end of the seasons because he's coming off injuries and stuff. And Khalil Mack, for the most part, doesn't seem to be on the injury report as often. And you still kind of see him making plays towards the end of the season. Honestly, it probably just comes down to the fact that Joey Bosa just needed a new home. I wouldn't say be the guy, but just find new ground to travel with because obviously Chargers didn't want him.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, he just needs a change of scenery. Sometimes they'll do wonders for people. So, I feel like this is like a Bobby Wagner type signing where you just need a vet. You just need to keep a vet in the building. Someone who's been there, done that. People can,
Well, honestly, he's a
they'll
good
look up to him no matter what.
pickup.
Like, they're going to listen to him. So, I think this is what this is. Plus, like you said, um, he's not really an Iron Man, but he is reliable. And, so I like that signing. Buccaneers signed Reddick for a 1-year deal. Reddick played in Atlanta last year, right? So he's just swapping NFC South teams. How do you feel
No,
about
he
this one?
played for the Jets and didn't really suit up ever. Did you hear me, or did it scramble through?
You froze for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Reddick played with the Jets, but he like sat out all the way up until like November, so we never really saw him doing anything. Yeah, he didn't like the Jets ownership, even though he signed like a 3-year deal with the Jets.
Yeah. So maybe he'll regain some value in Tampa Bay. Chiefs, they I guess kind of fixed the offensive line. I don't know too much about Jalen Moore, but um, this guy was Trent Williams' backup. Has 12 career starts. I don't know if he's going to be better than. Didn't they used to have like Jawan Taylor after they
Yeah.
signed him after we took OBJ from them? So I guess this is to be determined. I don't have a grade or really a thought. I think they probably should went after a bigger name. Like you see, talk about this a little bit later, but you see the Commanders go out and get Tunsil. Like that's a move the Chiefs should have. They should have done that.
I don't know. They got to keep getting it done with the overpaid roster they have. They can't afford a Tunsil.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but
We're seeing the cycling out of the Chiefs where they finally go downhill a little bit.
man, they do. I saw like a video on Instagram. I think it was last night. Like the Chiefs have like the highest paid. They have like so many players on like the highest paid by positions. It's insane. It's like them and the Eagles. And the 49ers have quite a few people too. Bears signed Drew Dahlman. I know I think one of the insiders said he's probably one of the better centers that was going to hit free agency. So the Bears, they need an offensive line in general. So this is a good signing for them. The Bengals re-signed BJ Hill. This is a good one. Not really. I don't think it's an overpay. Maybe a slight overpay. But we need defensive linemen. So if you have a good one in the building, not a great one, but a good one, I think you go ahead and re-sign him if the money's not too exorbitant. So I like the signing. Any thoughts, Lawrence?
I think he could have gone younger.
Yeah, we have two rookies. We have the guy from Michigan, Chris Jenkins, and then some other kid who was a rookie last year too. So they got two young guns in there, and they re-signed somebody else. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But the Commanders they signed Kinlaw today. I think Kinlaw played on the Jets last year.
I
So
couldn't tell you.
the Jets defense was not as dominant as they were 2 years ago. So I don't know. I'll trust Adam Peters for now. I don't think he hasn't made any moves that's been bad so far, but who knows? This might be his first bad one. Patriots signed Roberts. I don't know how to spell it. I don't know who.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pickup. I think he might have been slightly overpaid, but then again, you're going to pay a little overpay for the Patriots. I think it fits the vibe of Vrabel um, concept, which is totally why because he wants to be unorthodox, and I think with Spillane in there, they can be a little unorthodox on defense.
All right, that makes sense to me. Probably the most sought out, wideout after T got tagged. Chris Godwin, he's coming off ACL. He's re-signing with the Bucks. I think this was like a 50-50 chance that he re-signed, and he went ahead and took that chance to stay in Tampa Bay. He's 29 years old. I think he's still young enough that he could come back and not have a problem. Now, if he was like 31, I would say, yeah, I probably don't know about this one. But the fact that he just turned 29, I feel like he can come back and be pretty close to the receiver he was before he got hurt. What do you think? This fellow NFC South receiver.
I think he'll be just fine. I think he took less money for a purpose. I kind of think that he knows that his role is going to be a little bit mitigated. Like you know what you mean. Like Mike Evans is always wide receiver one.
Yep.
Personally, I think the Buccaneers probably seek out a young wide receiver in the draft, probably third, fourth round. And then was it McMahon? That they already have on the team right now from last year. That was a rookie. Really shined once Godwin went down. So there are a lot of moving parts on the Buccaneers, but Baker Mayfield is your quarterback, and he will get you yards, and he will throw you the ball, no matter who it is. So don't really have to worry about that. And honestly, it's probably a culture thing for Godwin.
Yeah, like a Khalil Mack, like a Bobby Wagner, but on the offensive side of the ball. I like it. Titans signed offensive tackle Dan Moore. I think he played for who did he play last year?
Couldn't tell you.
Doesn't say where he played last year. Any thoughts about this one? Titans, they need offensive line too. They couldn't really run the ball last year. Couldn't pass block either.
That's just filler. That's a good signing, I guess. It's what you need. It'd be different if the Titans were signing a defensive tackle, then we'd be over here like, is that really the first thing need? No, this one I thought was a straight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Davis. I didn't think he
3
was
years, $60 million, $34 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I didn't think he was all that amazing.
I feel like the Patriots should have drafted another corner, so you stay young at corner instead of having a guy that's at this point's a vet. So I agree with you that one. Maybe the money's a stretch too. I feel like you probably stay young at corner instead of going out and overpaying for a guy. Lions signed a corner, DJ Reed, played on the Jets last year. They need a corner. They need someone opposite of Stanley, right? Is it Brandon Stanley? Is he the corner for Detroit, or is it Stinley or something?
I think you're thinking of Stingley, which is with the Texans.
Okay. Who is their corner? Who is their corner? Let me see. Look at their depth chart, y'all. They got.
I'll tell you who their CB number one is.
No, they have DJ Reed and they have Robertson. I thought they had a good corner. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, they got DJ Reed. He played well against opposite of Sauce, so I think it's a good sign for them. They need corners. That was a big thing. They needed corners and another guy opposite of Aiden because I think they released Darius Smith, so they need to go out and get another.
The only issue with the pickup is Detroit already has a penalty problem on their defense, and he is very good at getting penalties called upon him.
Yeah, I remember. He's a handsy guy, right? Like he'll get you at least like one DPI or holding call a game.
Yeah, somewhere about in that range.
All right, now here we go. This was not too shocking, but it left Pittsburgh in a little bit of a conundrum. Fields goes to the Jets, 2 years, $40 million. 30 of that is guaranteed. So he's probably going to be the starter unless they draft somebody in the first round, which at this point they can go any direction, right? So, how you feel about this?
I think this was one way to appeal to Garrett Wilson, and trying to get him not to leave.
Yeah.
Get him his old quarterback back at Ohio State. You can kind of take a risk and not overpay. I think they paid a little much, but you have to remember it's the Jets, so they have to pay a little bit of a poopy tax, because you're poopy. And they're gonna get and you get taxed to high hell in New York too. So you also have to throw him an extra little bones just because he's gonna lose any taxes. So overall, I think it's a pretty good deal for Justin Fields and the Jets because their probably big goal really is to have Garrett Wilson not want to leave. And honestly, show Sauce Gardner that, yeah, maybe stopping a team to 20 points a game, actually, we can win because we'll be able to do just enough.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's, if anything, a nice bridge quarterback. If he doesn't work out, he's decent enough to get you some wins, but if he does work out, hey, you pay him in another year. So I think it's a nice bridge. Now, Sam goes to Seattle. 3 years, 100.5 million. Half of that is guaranteed, 55 million. I view this, and ESPN says it too. Like, this is definitely very similar to Baker Mayfield. The contract he got after he played well, and but you guys cut him. Then he went to LA, played well after Stafford got hurt, and then he landed in Tampa Bay. And then this is they played well on that 1 year deal in Tampa Bay, right? And then they paid him. So it's kind of similar. Now he doesn't have anyone to throw to besides JSN, so they got to work on that. We were talking about this at work. I was like, I guess the game plan is to draft a receiver or two. Probably draft a receiver in the first round because other than JSN, if you don't have too much to go off of, unless you go out and pay a vet, but the vet receivers are slim pickings.
This is true. They'll find something. Hey, we saw him last year. He threw the ball wildly. He'll have so much fun, even though he doesn't have the two best weapons in the NFL. At some might argue at wide receiver as a duo.
Yeah, you could argue the best duo. Definitely could. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this because Milton Williams was almost pen to paper with the Panthers, and I guess the Patriots added a little more money that he couldn't refuse. So, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think they overpaid big time for him. I think this was a desperation move. If you look back on it, he didn't even play that many snaps with the Eagles. He was more of a plug it in and blow it up kind of guy, but he didn't play that many snaps. So to pay him $100 million, that would be paying almost the same Derek Brown twice. And honestly, we got other holes to fill. We don't need to be spending that much on a D tackle, and we already have one really good D tackle.
You see the guys missed. You didn't miss out. You can find some more value in a different player, right?
I think they already signed a D tackle. I think they signed two of them already since this has gone down.
Oh, okay. I like it. Milt Williams to the Patriots. And who we got here? Oh, yeah, Tunsil. Commanders trade for him. Texans got a nice haul for Tunsil. A third rounder this year, seventh rounder. And then next year, 2026, they get a second rounder and a Commanders fourth rounder. And then Commanders get Tunsil and then a fourth from the Texans this year. So I think two things. Commanders, good trade for them. They didn't really need a left tackle. I think their left tackle, Coleman, the rookie, played well for them. So it was an immediate need. You could probably just bet on him getting better next year. But if Tunsil's available, I don't see why you don't explore that. So I don't knock them for that. And then two, they also need edge rushing really bad. And they were probably the top of the list to trade for Trey potentially. And I think this takes them out of that unless they want to get rid of more draft capital, which they're still a young team. Probably want to not give up too much. So what do you think, Lawrence?
I think you let Coleman move to the right or in a guard position. You fill what you need. A guaranteed body at left. It's going to hold it down. I'm trying to add longevity to my quarterback's career, something they failed in Washington before. And then,
Yes.
honestly, the draft is so loaded at D tackle, D line, everything. You'll figure something out. Or you can get some guys in for cheap. And your coach is defensive minded, so that's his bread and butter anyway. So you should be able to do more with less on the defensive side.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I think they just said, "Hey, do we protect the quarterback or do we go chase the quarterback?" And they said, "Let's just protect our rookie going soon to be sophomore quarterback." So you can't fault that choosing a quarterback over getting someone else's quarterback. Good move for them. Cardinals signed Josh Sweat, so the Eagles are losing a lot of players. And the Cardinals need a D lineman too. So it's a good signing for them. How do you feel?
It's a good signing for him. It's honestly a blessing to watch the Eagles get ripped apart. You knew it was coming, and it's entertaining. Again, I think the Cardinals may have had to give up a little too much for him in terms of money,
Yeah.
but when you got nothing, you don't have a choice.
So this might be a reason why Myles stayed. The Browns get Kenny Pickett, and the Eagles get DTR and a fifth rounder. How are we feeling? Kenny Pickett. Well, he finished one game for Jalen. I don't know if he started a game, but I think that should have told you all you need to know.
Well, DTR was ass, so.
Yeah, he wasn't much better. ESPN's giving the Eagles an A. I guess because they get the pick. I don't know. I'm guessing that's why you get a pick for. I tweeted mid for mid, so that's how I feel. It's just mid for mid. But I guess the Eagles win because they get a pick.
I mean, they're just going to cut DTR because there's no point in having him around. So they got a fifth-round pick for Kenny Pickett. And I think they got Kenny Pickett from a seventh-round pick. So you kind of pick swap two spots.
Yeah. Packers sign guard Aaron Banks. I didn't know the Packers need an offensive lineman, but
they're getting older. They need the depth.
Raiders sign Malcolm Kuntz, edge rusher, 1-year deal. I guess this guy plays opposite of Crosby, so I like it. No big deal. That's most of the whatchamacallit, the trade graded trades from ESPN. I think there's a lot more. Let's see here. Like the Broncos added Greenlaw. I like that. They, Sean Payton's adding to the defense. And they got Hufanga. Now, Hufanga, he's been in and out of the lineup, right? Like, he can never stay healthy since he was, I think he was an all-pro back in, 2022 or something. So he's been in and out the lineup. How you feel about the Broncos adding these two vets from the 49ers?
There's probably a reason the 49ers let him walk. Greenlaw did not come back well off the ACL tear. And Kufunga doesn't stay healthy, so it doesn't really change anything for them. It's not like he suits up anyways.
I feel that. The Cowboys make their one and only deal so far. They signed Javonte Williams from the Broncos. He hasn't looked the same since he tore his ACL, so it's just Jerry being cheap in the bargain bin. At this point, I don't know if they might go for Genty at 12. Maybe not. Who knows what Jerry's going to do, but it makes sense because I don't think Javonte is going to be as good as they think. Patriots sign Mac Hollins. Slayton stays with the Giants. We don't really care with the Giants. Panthers re-sign Mike Jackson, Lawrence, for 2 more years. And you guys re-sign J.C. Horn, I think for a
Yeah,
big contract, right?
that was a big contract. I think if they got in one more guy, it'd be a good deal. I think they need to bring in a slot corner, someone to really guard the slot, and I think we'll be fine because I think Mike Jackson towards the end of the season really started holding it down. We got Moig from the Raiders who plays safety. We beefed up our line. We just need an edge rusher. So
Yeah, you guys signed Tershawn Wharton, 3 years, $30 million guaranteed, not too shabby. Zach Wilson's going to Miami to be the backup. We already said Rams are going to cut Cup.
that's a good
Charvarius Ward is going to the Colts. That's a nice pickup. I like that.
Yeah, I
Dobbs going
think
to the
he's been a
Patriots to be
fun
the
free
backup.
agency with the most movement.
Yeah, I mean, I like the signings. Nothing's like too like dramatic other than the Myles Garrett. That was a little like mind-boggling, but other than that, I feel like most teams have made some good signings. Everyone's getting better. And this is just day one, so there's still plenty of still plenty of good players out there. Bengals signed D tackle Slayton. He played for the Packers last year. He was a straight up nose tackle. I like it because from what I've seen, the clips I've seen, even his PFF grade for just like pure run stopping, he's pretty decent. So, in those early downs, he's going to be on the field, and his only job is just to clog the middle. So I like it. Washington lose Jeremy Chin. I think that's a big deal. He going to the Raiders because Jeremy Chin played well for the Commanders this past year.
He did. I think that's going to be a big loss for them, more than they know. But they'll try to make up for it with, I don't know, like a fifth, sixth round draft pick.
Yeah, someone on the cheap. Maybe I lied. This one was kind of puzzling. The Bills signed Joshua Palmer. Palmer has not. I mean, he's okay, but like,
No, he's
we
bad.
gotta give Josh Allen something better to work with, man. Come on now.
He's bummed.
Especially after you pay Josh Allen 6 years, $330, right? You can't
Yeah,
get
they
this
need to
man
go
a
out
better
there and
receiver
draft
than.
him. Yeah, they need to go out there and draft him a guaranteed Pro Bowl wide receiver. Because I don't know, Keon Coleman did not rub that way that he was going to be any kind of All Pro soon.
Yeah, he's more of a. He seemed like a number 2, borderline number 3 guy, honestly. Commanders lose to Yami Brown. That was a big deal. That's pretty much it. We'll go over everything else on Wednesday or Thursday episode. Once I think the official start is Wednesday, so we're just in a tampering period. But Wednesday, I think, is official. Moving on, UFC 313 was on Saturday, Las Vegas. Lawrence, what are your thoughts? Alex Chama, he lost to I can't pronounce the guy's name, but he lost. I thought it was a close fight, but it was a unanimous decision, 49-46. All 3 judges scored the fight that way. How do you feel? What do you think is next? Is there a rematch? Rematch in place, or what do you think?
I don't think Alex has the time at his current age in his career to take rematches or do rematches. I think he's more about just fighting anyone and everyone he can. I think he's going to have a little bit of a longer hiatus now that he's not champion, because there's no need to rush back in to do anything. My parlay came one leg from hitting. The only thing I lost, Alex Pereira, obviously. So overall, I thought the card was great. If I just took off Alex Pereira, I would have had a great night because pretty much all my bets were plus money. Roofie knockout was the only thing at a minus 120. I had Gaethje at plus money. I had Ignacio at plus money. I mean, we could have really gone on a streak if, you know, Pereira didn't kind of hoe us. You can't let people grab you forever.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a close fight going into round three. Could have been 2-1 either way. And then I think Mr. Anklev, or how you pronounce his name, yeah, he held for the last two rounds to kind of guarantee that victory. So um, I don't agree with it. I know we talked about this before, but holding is kind of childish. Shouldn't be scored in your favor if you're just gonna hold a guy the whole time. So um, hopefully they do something about it. I don't know if Dana kept the same energy as last time when this happened, but I don't know. I think this is a ploy for them to, John. If I don't know, probably can't ask for Alex now that he lost, unless something drastic happens. But he did say, like we said last week, John and Aspinall in the summer sometime. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe he's really pressed or interested in fighting. I think he just likes to yap a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're on to something. I like the fight. I like the main card. It was good. Anything else before we head on out? WWE is tonight. CM Punk and Seth freaking
Rollins
Rollins
in a steel cage.
in a steel cage. Yes, yes, very exciting. Um, can't wait for that. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, this is NTL Sports episode 149. We will see you later this week. Thank you guys for watching and listening on Spotify. With that, we are out. Peace.